At Beck's, family has always been at the heart of who we are. As a family-owned seed company, we believe some of the best days are spent learning, growing, and making memories together. That's why we want to invite you and the whole family to Indiana Becknology Days. You'll experience how Beck's is helping shape the future of farming through breakthrough research, practical agronomic insights, and the revolutionary Seed IQ system. The next era of yield starts now. Join us in Atlanta, Indiana, August 27th through the 29th. Register at beckshybrids.com.
We did the whole city life in Indianapolis, bought property here in 2016. That was my ultimate dream, is to move down here permanently.
After about 3 years of convincing me, we pulled the trigger and we moved down here. No regrets. I do love it.
Knowing friends that had went through Rural First, we're on project number 3. From the refinance to the barn build to now the house build. Great company to work with, and our loan officer has been fantastic. I think it's a great lifestyle to lead. I certainly am glad I'm living it and excited to be able to do it and continue it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. Had to make sure we were awake. Glad to have everyone here today. Welcome to the Hoosier Homestead Award ceremony. My name is Eric Pfeiffer. I'm president of Hoosier Ag Today. You can find our work on about 70 plus radio stations across the state. You can find it at HoosierAgToday.com, on social media. You can also find some of our stuff on WRTV here in Indianapolis, if you are around this area, Channel 6, the ABC affiliate. And we are live streaming today's event, so if you've got family that couldn't make it, or friends, or anyone you want to brag to about your award today, text them real quick, tell them to go to YouTube and do a search for Hoosier Ag Today and the number 1. Because for some reason, someone else has at Hoosier Ag Today, and I'm bound to find them. I'm bound to find them. Again, thank you for being here today. I also have the great honor of being your MC for today's event. I want to give you a little bit of background about the Hoosier Homestead Awards. This program was created in 1976 by the Division of Agriculture under the Indiana Department of Commerce, and it's now the Indiana State Department of Agriculture. The program recognizes farms that have been owned by the same family for 100 years with a Centennial Award. That's the blue one, right? That's the blue one. Are they in front of me? Yeah, they're right down here. 150 years will get the Sesquicentennial Award, and 200 years, that brown one there, gets the Bicentennial Award. The award was established to recognize the contributions these farming families have made to the economic, cultural, and social advancements of our great state. Since the program's inception, more than 6,000 farms have received this tremendous honor. To kick off today's event, I want to introduce somebody very special, and he runs the Indiana State Department of Agriculture. And Don, if I can steal a little bit of your thunder, you have a great staff that put this whole thing together today. Can we give it up for the staff of the Indiana State Department of Agriculture? I know Connor McCarthy worked hard on this. Clark, you kind of worked on this somewhat, but a fantastic job by everyone. And I do want to introduce Don Lamb. He is the head of the Indiana State Department of Agriculture. Don is a farmer himself. I mean, as much as you can call yourself a farmer anymore. You go in and bark orders at people that actually know what they're doing. Is that what it is? No, Don is still very active in his farm in Boone County. He loves agriculture, and he loves this event. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Lamb.
Thank you very much, Eric, and we do really thank you for being here, and we're honored to have you here. I do love this event. I did also want to thank the staff. Thanks for doing that, but especially Connor. Where's Connor? Oh, he's way in the back. But you've probably had some communication with Connor along the way, and you know, if you were scheduled to be here in March at the State House, we changed that to this event, and Connor's done a lot of work to make that happen. So we really appreciate him and all of the staff. I do love this, and you know, part of the reason I just tell people is I can see the perspective of what a family like yours has gone through, just because I'm a second generation farmer, and my dad's 89 years old, and you know, I look at what he's done, and I always think, man, we've been farming a long time, and but I've got to live to be 105 to get to the 100-year program. My daughter will be 72. Which I can't quite imagine that. And so, you know, the perspective that I've got, because I can think about it that way, I see it takes 3, 4, or 5 generations to be here. So really appreciate that. I want to real quickly introduce the legislators that we have with us today to help in honoring you, and they'll get up and kind of have their picture taken with you as you come across. But Representative Mike Aylesworth, if you'll stand. Representative Kendall Culp. Representative Chris May. Representative Lindsay Patterson, Representative Bob Heaton, I think is here somewhere. Saw him earlier. Representative Peggy Mayfield, Representative Tim Yoakum, Representative David Abbott, and our one lone senator, Gary Byrne. So give them a round of applause, please. But we're gonna start this, and we'll honor you as you come across the stage, and then you get a chance to have a picture, a professional picture at the back. But when I think of this, we're honoring 135 families today that have been 100 years or more, and 6 of those are bicentennial families, 200 years. And when I think about that, that really is impressive. It's also interesting to think they're almost always, it seems like a lot of them have been on the eastern side of the state and the southern side of the state, as they came up the river at that time. This morning we had one from Johnson County, and I thought, well, how'd that happen? And they said, well, we're right on the White River. So again, it was probably river-oriented when you get back that far. But it's just really interesting to think about the history of your families. And really, it's about stewardship. And, you know, stewardship is the careful and responsible management of a resource that someone has entrusted to you. And, you know, I'm just absolutely positive that this room is full of a bunch of good stewards. And it's interesting, too, when you think about, you probably look at your farm as something that's not really yours because you've been entrusted to care for it, and yet you've held on to it for 100 years. And so it's just that interesting way of looking at that management. So just really appreciate it. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of perseverance to keep a farm in the family like this. And as your farms have changed, your commitment to agriculture in Indiana has not, and we really appreciate you for that. So for that, and a lot more, we're here to honor you and your ancestors for the generations of hard work that has created this legacy. So thank you and congratulations. Now it's my honor to introduce our Secretary of Agriculture, our 52nd Lieutenant Governor? 53rd Lieutenant Governor, Mr. Micah Beckwith.
Thank you, Don. You're doing a great job. Your team at ISDA is fantastic. As the Secretary of Agriculture, it's an honor to be here today with our amazing families that have just tilled the ground, have raised cattle, have poured into your communities, and everything in between for years and years and generations. And I think this is probably my favorite thing to do when it comes to what we offer in agriculture. And the reason why is because it's so important to understand our identity as who we are as Hoosiers, who we are as Americans, and who God has created us to be. And you cannot do that if you forget your history. And so today we are putting up a monument, a memorial to where did you come from? Who were you? Who were your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, the generations before you? And the goal is to pass it on to your children and children's children. You know, there's a passage in Scripture that totally sets the stage for this. In Joshua 4, when God leads the Israelites into the new promised land, he tells Joshua, he says, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to take 12 stones. I want you to stack them on top of each other so that when your children ask, what do these stones mean, you will tell them this is what the Lord has done for us. And so what we're doing here today is essentially that. We are creating a history, a monument, a memorial. You'll have these plaques that you can put outside of your farmhouse, right on your land. And when your children ask, what does that mean, Grandpa? You'll be able to say, this is who we are. This is what the blessings that we've been able to experience have been for the generations to come. And as somebody myself who has grown up in the farm agriculture world and the dairy industry, my dad and my grandpa, they taught me what it meant to have that history, that legacy, and the heritage of who we are as Americans, who we are as Hoosiers, who we are as farmers, and what this means to not just our state but our nation when we steward what God has given us. And for the fact that you have 100, 150 years, and 200 years in some cases of stewardship of this great state is incredible, and what an honor it is to recognize you today. So, and I was just talking to the governor. The governor said he wants you to know how proud he is of you as well, and he is a farmer himself and loves what we have to offer when it comes to agriculture in our state. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for caring enough to pass the legacy on to future generations and remember who we are as Hoosiers and who we are as Americans. So God bless you. It's going to be a great day. Thank you.
All right, we got those people out of the way. Now we can start doing some awards, right? No. Let's have some fun today. Let's keep this light, but let me walk you through a little bit of how this is going to work, okay? So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to call you up alphabetically by county, okay? That's why you're all seated where you are. If you please take a look over here to my right, your left. We've got Clark, we've got Kyle, Bryceland, right? Yes, I got it right. There we go. And you don't want to cross these guys, okay? Listen to their directions. You may not know it by looking at it, but Kyle over here is the good cop. Clark is the enforcer. Don't cross him, okay? Listen to their instructions. They'll help you out here, get you over here to form a line over here on my right, your left. When we do that, I'll say your name. You come across this beautiful dirt stage, and you get to hang out with Don and Micah here up front. If you want to take some pictures up here, that's cool. But the big pictures are happening in the back. You see the backdrops back there? We have signs back there for you as well. They'll look an awful lot like these. Might even be exact replicas. You're not taking these when you come up here, and you're not taking those when you do the pictures back there. That would be theft. And we have police, state police around here. They will find you. You've got your signs back at the registration table, okay? You'll get that afterward. When you do come up here, though, we do have certificates for you, and those are yours. They're not fake. They're not empty. They're not like your diplomas from high school where you had to go and pay your library fees to get all of that taken care of, okay? So get your certificate, you get the picture up here, and then go on that way around and head on to the back. All the photos taken today by our wonderful photographer, AJ. Where's AJ? He's all the way back there. He's giving a wave. They're going to be available to download by next week, and that'll be free of charge at the ISDA website. Be sure to take that program with you. There's a link. There's a QR code. If you lose it, I don't know where else you go after that. I don't have anything else for you. I think we got it. Did we get it? Of course, after your picture, if you would, please be respectful. We're going to take maybe about an hour here to get through all of these deserving families. So if you can get your picture, come back to your seat, and celebrate these other families, that would be fantastic. Are we ready? Let's rock and roll. Yeah, you guys have to do some work now. Come on up. All right, let's start in Adams County with the McMillans getting a Sesquicentennial Award today. And by the way, they asked you to submit a farm fact. And if you did, I'll read through some of those today. If you didn't, I might just make one up, and it'll be part of your family's farm lore for the rest of time. For the McMillans and their Sesquicentennial Award, their homestead was formed in 1876. The house that is now on the farmland was built in 1902 by their great-great-grandfather. Congratulations to the McMillans. Yep. You hang on to the certificate, we'll hang on to the signs. Don't steal those. Let's head to Allen County now with the Hearts getting a Sesquicentennial Award today. Their homestead that was formed in 1874. And I got to tell you, I'm impressed. These shirts, if you didn't put together special shirts for today, I question your commitment to your farm, your Hoosier Homestead. These folks are on at the Hearts. And I'm going to read this verbatim, okay? This isn't me speaking. This is what they submitted. When I was a little girl, my parents decided to build a new house in place of our old brick house. So while the brick home was being demolished and the new one built, we lived in our tool shop. It did not have walls, so my parents put up twine string with sheets hanging from them to make walls as our bedrooms. Not a whole lot of privacy there, huh? Congratulations to the Hearts. And nice shirts. Let's stay in Allen County with the Griebel family. Their Hoosier Homestead was formed in 1845. They're getting the Sesquicentennial Award today. I don't have a farm fact for them other than they live on haunted ground. Don't go visit the Griebels. Congratulations. We'll stay in Allen County with the Springers. It looks like they're getting a couple of things today. So I have the Springers getting a Centennial, and a Sesquicentennial Award today for two different homesteads. One that started in 1875 and one in 1911. Congratulations to the Springers. It's at Bartholomew County and the Andrew Whiteside Homestead. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead that was formed in 1909. And the house that stood on this homestead for the longest time had the basement dug out with scoop buckets and mules. Congratulations to the Whiteside Homestead. Let's go down to Davies County. The Kavanaugh Ike Miller Homestead getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1881. Timothy Kavanaugh immigrated from Ireland in 1853 and as a foreman built the railroad through Cannelberg, saving for 20 years to purchase the Kavanaugh Homestead in 1881. Farm's been cared for through 5 generations. Congratulations to the Kavanaugh Ike Miller Homestead. In DeKalb County, I feel like I'm doing a sports broadcast. You guys want to get some music and come on? From DeKalb County, the Stoops family. Their homestead was formed in 1875. They're getting a Sesquicentennial Award today. The farm has been a working farm for its entire 150 years, all with the Stoops family in the lead. The current generations have a thriving cut flower and bouquet business in addition to row crops and a small herd of beef cattle. Congratulations to the Stoops. Now I got to ask, is Du Bois or Du Bois? What do you guys go with? Du Bois County. That's right. Headed to Du Bois County with the Rahman Homestead. 1926. They're getting a Centennial Award today. They say that Gary passed away in 2011, but he would be so proud to see his family living the life he loved. His grandkids are being raised to love the farm and the outdoors the same way he did. That's what this is all about. Congratulations to the Rahmans. From Elkhart County, Let's talk about the Higher Homestead. And look at that, they got shirts too. I'm telling you, we got some. Oh, there's a bunch of hires here. A bunch of sharp blue shirts. We're getting the Sesquicentennial Award today, 1832. The original house built when it was homesteaded was turned into a granary when the current house was built in the 1860s. The current house was made with local bricks and local clay that were carried by hand to the mason by the third owner of the house when he was just a boy. Congratulations to the Hire family. Franklin County, or Shell. My last name is Pfeiffer. It starts with a P. I like to get these names right. If I don't, sincerely, I apologize. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead in 1923. That's when it was formed. The Orshell family homestead in southern Indiana is a multi-generational haven defined by rolling terrain. For decades, these lush, sloping hills have served as a cherished backdrop for family and friends to gather, hosting lively summer hay rides and winter sledding parties that anchor the family's local heritage. Congratulations to the Orshells. Thank you. Let's meet the Shaley family from Franklin County. They're getting a Centennial and a Sesquicentennial Award today. Formed in 1876, every structure on the place was built by family and friends. Congratulations to the Shaley family. Fulton County now. Let's meet the folks from the Wagner-Klein homestead. They're getting a Sesquicentennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1876. The family house was built in 1880. The barn was constructed in 1883. Farming was first done with horses until 1942 when the first tractor was purchased. The farm is located in Fulton County, northwest of Rochester and south of Lake Maxinkuckee. And I think that they put that in there just to see if I could pronounce it without saying any swear words in the process. Congratulations to the Wagner-Klein homestead. Let's head to Gibson County. Let's meet the folks from the Baglin. Well, see, they didn't give me a very good phonetic spelling here. This says Baglin, I promise. The Baglin homestead. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead. It was formed in 1926. Congratulations to the Baglins. So it's Pfeiffer. I should know this. Also in Gibson County, the George Solman. That's not you? Who we got here? Kind of all together? There we go. George Solman, we'll start here. Getting a Centennial and Sesquicentennial Award today. You got enough hands there? Okay. Congratulations to them. We've got a whole group here. Let's see. Hold your applause till the end. Let's get through. Here we go. Arnold Mickle. See, doggone it. Arnold Mickle Homestead. They're getting a Centennial and Sesquicentennial Award for their homestead. It started in 1876. I'll get out of the picture. Now I've got a Benjamin Mickle. Is it the same group? Same group. Do you need your picture again, or are we good? Benjamin Mickle, this homestead was formed in 1917. They're getting a Centennial Award. And then also that group, Fred V. Wilson, that homestead as well, right? Here we go. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their Hoosier Homestead formed in 1891. Congratulations to the George Solman, Arnold Mickle, Benjamin Mickle, and Fred V. Wilson Hoosier Homestead Award recipients. Also from Gibson County, let's meet the Cruz family, getting their Centennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1926. Micah says, take another picture. I wasn't smiling. Aren't politicians always smiling? Don't you guys know better? You're always on. Let's go to Harrison County now. The Millers. The Miller Homestead. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead that was created in 1914. Smile, Micah. Congratulations to the Millers. Also from Harrison County, let's meet the Johnson family. They're receiving a Centennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1920. The Johnson Farm is in Elizabeth, Indiana. It's been home to 5 generations of family. It represents a legacy of hard work, family values, and a lasting connection to the land that continues to provide. Congratulations to the Johnsons. The Millers and the Johnsons. Let's stay in Harrison County with the Blank Gleitz family. Same group here. Okay, very good. So we've got the Blank Gleitz Homestead. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1890. Yes, go ahead. Cover me up. And then we also have the Zolman Price group here, and they're getting a Centennial and a Sesquicentennial Award. So let's bring the other one in. And there's a nice story in here about riding horses there at the farm. Memories. I won't sing. Congratulations for the Blank Lights and Zolman Price Hoosier Homestead Awards. My goodness, let's stay in Harrison County. Did y'all carpool? I hope so. Schneider? Schneider, come on up. Come on down. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their Hoosier Homestead that was formed in 1895. Now be nice, don't cover your sister's face there. Congratulations to the Schneiders. All right, let's leave Harrison County, shall we? Let's go to Jackson. Again, I won't sing. I won't sing. The Fountain Homestead. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their farmstead that was formed in 1875. Clark over here tells me that this is his first grade teacher up here. And so the fact that he still can't read and write, I'm putting it on you. The Fountain family, congratulations. Also from Jackson County, let's meet the folks with the Stuckwish Homestead. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1914. There was a round barn that sat next to the house. It was functional and used to store hay and feed cattle until it burned down in 1983. It had a sister barn within a quarter mile on extended Stuckwish family farm. They were the only two round barns in the U.S. that were within sight of each other. How do you verify that kind of thing? You go all around to all the round barns? It was on the historical registry. That's awesome. Congratulations to the Stuckwishes. Let's go to Jasper County. This is the Kennedy Huff Homestead, formed in 1919, receiving a Centennial Award today. I'm sorry, guys. Was Representative Colt bothering you? We can get him out of here if you'd like. Congratulations to the Kennedy Huff family. Let's go to Jefferson County now. This says to pronounce it just like the dance. I don't know how to do the waltz, but let's say hello to the Waltz farm family. Formed in 1926, they're getting a Centennial Award today. Although the main crops now are corn and soybeans, tobacco was grown for many years. Everyone has memories of the work it took to grow and harvest tobacco. In the 1930s, Glenn grew tomatoes. They loaded tomatoes day or night, were trucked to Morgan Packing Company in Austin, Indiana. The contracted price was $7 for a ton. For doing the picking, the kids received a nickel a bushel from their dad. You guys get that kind of price on farm labor now? A nickel a bushel? Congratulations to the Waltz farm family, and nice shirts. I'm digging it. Let's go to Knox County and meet the Tilley family. They're getting a Centennial Award today for their farm formed in 1912. In the early 1900s, both August Tilley and his son Albert farmed with horse-drawn plows and rested the horses by an ash tree on the farm. Years later, their grandsons and sons also rested under that ash tree while farming. To this day, the ash tree is still living in the middle of one of the Tilley's farm fields. Congratulations to the Tilleys. Let's go to Knox County and say hello to the Meyer family. Formed in 1924, they're getting a Centennial Award today. And they said that they were pretty much summer camp for their city cousins. And those city boys and girls coming out there, and they got some hands-on training about farm life. Teach them, that's good. Congratulations to the Myers. I got another song I could do here, but I won't. LaGrange County. And the Yoders, they're getting a Sesquicentennial Award today for their Hoosier Homestead formed in 1875. Congratulations to the Yoders. Staying in LaGrange County, the Myers Homestead. Ooh, now you guys got some fancy shirts here. Even different kinds of shirts for the men and women. This is impressive. This is impressive. Myers Homestead, they're receiving a Centennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1926. Seems to me like they've got a generation here coming up. We'll be able to help out as well. Congratulations, Myers family. And way to show everyone else here up with your button-down shirts. Great job. Let's go to Lake County now with the Rosenthals. This sesquicentennial farm was formed in 1869. The fifth generation is in the house, and the children are the sixth to live in that house. The barn was built with wood that their great-grandfather milled from the Kankakee River. Congratulations to the Rosenthals and all those generations. Congrats. Now, I feel like this one should come with a spelling guide, and I don't have one. Should I give it a try here first? Nowatzki Cavan? Yes! These folks from LaPorte County, the Nowatzki Cavan Homestead, they're getting a Centennial Award today. It's formed in 1922. The tornado in 1976 took out some buildings less than 50 yards away from the house, but the house survived. Congratulations to the Nowatzki Cavan clan. From Lawrence County, let's meet the Beelers. We're going to get a Centennial Award today for their Hoosier Homestead that was formed in 1908. Congratulations, Beelers. Marshall County. They've got 2 certificates there for you, I believe. Yes. Thank you for finding that out. Otherwise, we'd have been one off the rest of this thing. Everybody would have had to go around and trade certificates. It had been a long day. Give it up over here for the ISDA staff. JT over here. She's working hard. She's working hard. From Marshall County, the Hahn Homestead. It was formed in 1897. They're getting a Centennial Award today. Congratulations. Let's stay in Marshall County with the Watkins crew. This homestead was formed in 1873. Receiving a Sesquicentennial Award today. And they say a picture of the original owner, Robert Watkins, and his three brothers made the paper in 1926 with the heading, quote, "Most remarkable group in the United States." It's believed these men had a record together. They bunked, marched, foraged, and shared the hardships of the Civil War, and all four returned home safe and unhurt. Congratulations to the Watkins crew here. Let's go to Monroe County and the Deck Homestead. They're getting a Centennial and Sesquicentennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1856. For 170 years, the Goebel and Deck families have farmed the rich Bean Blossom Creek bottoms of northwestern Monroe County. The farm was established in 1856 along Woodall Road near Ellettsville in the smaller community of Steinsville. And in 1892, Thomas Jefferson Goebel inherited a portion of the family land. He built the farmhouse where the family still lives today. Congratulations to the Deck family. From Morgan County. They give me phonetic spelling on this one. The Parkers. I think that one I could have figured out. The Parkers homestead goes back to 1874. They're receiving a Sesquicentennial Award today. Micah, that car seat is not for you. Do not take the milk from it. Congratulations to the Deck family. I'm sorry, that's the Parker family. Congratulations to the Parker. I'm losing my place here. Let's go to Noble County and meet the Peffers, which is what some people have called me over the years. Right along with Pfeiffer, Puff-Pfeiffer, Piffy-Iffer, all of them. So it's nice to actually meet some Peffers. Formed in 1876, they're getting the Sesquicentennial Award today. The adjoining farm is the homestead of former Secretary of Agriculture Earl Butts, who served under Presidents Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Earl Peffer, who along with his wife Ethel owned the farm until 2020, was inducted into the Indiana Livestock Hall of Fame in 1999. What a history. Congratulations to the Peffer family. Also from Noble County. This one made me laugh, by the way. The pronunciation on this one. These are the beers, and in the pronunciation it says like more than one beer. They're receiving a Centennial Award today. Their farm goes back to 1915. Lawrence Beers moved to the farm with his parents and later raised 5 children here with his wife Alice. Their middle son Charles is the present owner along with his son Joel. Congratulations to the Beers. We got more photos going off. In Park County, let's meet Let's meet the Crooks. Let's make sure security knows where they're at here. There's a lot of them, all these crooks. I'm sure they've never heard that joke before. This is a big one, a Bicentennial Award going back to 1826. And they say 86 acres of our farm was used to make Cecil Harding Lake, or Raccoon Lane, and 2 subdivisions. We have the original land grants from Presidents Martin Van Buren and John Quincy Adams. 6 generations have lived in that house that they reside in now. It's had several additions or added onto the original homestead house, but that's incredible. 6 generations. Congratulations to the Crooks. We're headed to Perry County now with the Adams family. How we doing? They're getting a Centennial Award today, 1923. From the Adams Homestead to River Forest Farms, they've gone through many changes. John sold eggs from the trunk of his car. Toma raised registered Hampshire hogs. David was a steward of the woodland that adjoins the Hoosier National Forest. Mary is preserving a family legacy, and Adam is reclaiming pasture land through regenerative agriculture practices. Congratulations to the Adams family. From Porter County, let's meet the Pomeroys. These folks are getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1919. The house was built around 1920 and didn't have indoor plumbing until 1969. The kitchen sink had a pump until around that time. Older barns and the chicken house, they were removed in the 70s and 80s, while the garage and machine shed were added in the 80s and 90s. Congratulations to the Pomeroys. Also in Porter County, the Hardesty Homestead, getting a Sesquicentennial Award today, 1853. They say that their house burned down in 1945 and their family helped start the township fire department. Maybe a day late and a dollar short, but glad we got there. Congratulations to the Hardesties. Also in Porter County, the Pope family. 1926, they're celebrating a centennial this year. Barn building contractor had never built a house, was told by their grandparents if he wanted the contract to build the barn, he had to build the house. So he built both. 2-for-1 deal. Congratulations to the Pope Homestead winners. Again, a reminder, after you get your pictures taken, come on back, have a seat. Also from Porter County, let's meet the Riff Miller family, getting a Centennial Award, 1924. Their Porter County farm is located on the banks of the Kankakee River. So as kids, they not only had a great farm life, but they also had the joy of the woods and the river. Those memories. Congratulations to the Riff Miller family. From Posey County, this one's a big one. This one's a big one. We need them all here. The Allen family from Posey County, 1818. They missed the boat here previously. We're just going to do all of them at once. A Centennial Award, a Bicentennial Award, the Sesquicentennial Award. And the good news is you do have plenty of hands for this. What's the plan? We putting up a big thing in the front yard of the farm? We hanging all these signs up? I think a lot of folks have that plan after today. Congratulations to the Allens. Bicentennial Award. Said to Pulaski County, named after a guy named Pulaski. Let's meet the folks with the Christ Homestead. 1876. They're receiving the Centennial and the Sesquicentennial Award today. Congratulations to the Christ family. In Ripley County, the Chandler Homestead. You got the shirts too. Even the baby has a shirt. The baby even has the boots on. This is adorable. Do the kids say totes adorbs? Is that what it is? He doesn't know. The Chandler family, they're getting a Centennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1912. The 6th generation now farms the land, and they raise grass-finished beef, lamb, pastured chicken, and pork. Congratulations to Chandler Family Farms. Still in Ripley County, let's meet the Welch family. I want to point out the Welch family here. They came so prepared. They brought their farm fact on a piece of paper today so that I wouldn't be without. It's incredible. 1897 is when their homestead started, getting the Centennial Award today. The current field lane was once used as an airplane strip where Danny Welch took off and landed his plane. The farm is also home to our red barn that is over 100 years old. Congratulations. What it doesn't say is that's where Danny got in the plane and took off to try to avoid some chores. Let's go to Vanderburgh County and meet the Wheeler family. They're receiving a couple of awards today. The Sesquicentennial and the Bicentennial. 1822. The farm outhouse was a subject during their elementary and high school days. Friends were amazed at the outhouse on the farm and just had to see it. It's no longer there. I wonder why. Congratulations. Bicentennial Award winners, the Wheeler family. From Wabash County, getting a Centennial and Sesquicentennial Award today, the Goebel family. Sixth generation, she says, on this farm in Wabash County. 1851, the original kitchen moved across the drive to become part of a tractor shed. And you can still see the wallpaper inside. Congratulations to the Goebels. All right, from Warren County, you guys got to wait here a second because It says on here that the name is Hogue, as in Vogue or Rogue. If you're you got to Vogue across here. It's the only way to do it. All right, come on, you can come ahead. They're getting a Centennial Award today, formed in 1924. Rachel Hogue purchased the land for $1 from her Civil War veteran uncle. Dennis and Karen are still farming the land, and this will be their 56th crop. Congratulations to the Hogues who won't Vogue. In Warren County, let's welcome the Fry family. They're receiving a Centennial Award today for their Hoosier Homestead, formed in 1924. They say that when US 41 was first being constructed, the crew kept their horses in their barn. The barn has been maintained and repaired and is still used for cattle. They live in the original 1903 house on the farm. Joe's Cousins farm received a Centennial Award this morning. That's not a bad day. Congratulations to the Fry family. In Washington County, let's say hi to the Hearst family. They're getting a Sesquicentennial Award today for their homestead formed in 1836. This one's interesting. The farm is 870 feet above sea level. And during the drought of the 1930s, 5 different farmers came to get water for their livestock, and the well never went dry. Move this back a little bit here. Don, I'm not very strong. Congratulations to the Hearst family. And finally, let's head to Wells County and meet the Meyer family. They're receiving a Centennial Award today for their Hoosier Homestead, formed in 1893. And this says, I remember listening to my grandfather describe being chased by a blue racer snake while plowing in the backfield. I was a child at the time. Excuse my ignorance. Is a blue racer snake a real thing, or was he making it up and fooling with you? A blue racer snake? Is it real? Okay. Crawling up the tire, he said. I thought maybe this was like, if anyone's ever seen Up, like a snipe where he goes around making them try to find the invisible thing. I wasn't sure if he was just messing with you. Trying to bite Grandpa. He probably deserved it, right? Grandpa won. Good for him. Hey, that's it for everybody that's here. We did have some folks that weren't able to make it today. I'd love to just run through those here real quick to honor those who are receiving awards today as well. From 1873, receiving a Sesquicentennial Award, the Bebrick family in Adams County. Carroll County's Johnson Homestead, 1910, a Centennial Award. Centennial Award also for the Carl E. Geis family in Decatur County. In Du Bois, the Meyer and Feldmeyer families, 1871, getting Sesquicentennial Awards. Roy Wolf in Harrison County, 1924, a Centennial Award. A Johnson family from Johnson County. How appropriate. A Bridgman family in Newton County getting a Sesquicentennial Award, 1874. In Noble County, the Haas family, a Centennial Award, 1887. Also a Centennial Award for the Brown Short family in Randolph County, 1907. The Dilgers in Spencer County, 1872, Sesquicentennial Award. And then Centennial Awards for the Allen Baird family in Tipton County, the Raber family in Wells County, and the Yerk family in White County. Ooh. Folks, we did it. We got through them. And I hope you had a little bit of fun. I did. This is a fantastic event. Kudos to you. Really. Agriculture, obviously, is the backbone of Indiana. We would fall apart without it. And the fact that you were all able to keep your farms in the family, it's incredible. The generational stability and the, just the generational culture that you pass down to want to be on the land and on the farm. Tremendous work. Congratulations to you all. Please don't forget to go get your signs in the back. Those are the ones that you're allowed to have. Okay, go get the signs out there. They're in a box for you in the back. Thank you again so much to everyone for coming today. Enjoy the fair. Go get yourself a blue raspberry milkshake, garbage burger at the pork tent, Hoosier ribeye. Thank you. Have a great day.
At Beck's, family has always been at the heart of who we are. As a family-owned seed company, we believe some of the best days are spent learning, growing, and making memories together. That's why we want to invite you and the whole family to Indiana Technology Days. You'll experience how Beck's is helping shape the future of farming through breakthrough research, practical agronomic insights, and the revolutionary Seed IQ system. The next era of yield starts now. Join us in Atlanta, Indiana, August 27th through the 29th. Register at beckshybrids.com.
We did the whole city life in Indianapolis, bought property here in 2016. That was my ultimate dream, is to move down here permanently.
After about 3 years of convincing me, we pulled the trigger and we moved down here. No regrets. I do love it.
Knowing friends that had went through rural first, we're on project number 3. From the refinance to the barn build to now the house build. Great company to work with, and our loan officer has been fantastic. I think it's a great lifestyle to lead. I certainly am glad I'm living it and excited to be able to do it and continue it.